That's better. Hi, us. Hi, us. Hi. Hi, future me editing this. Fuck you.
Sparkle, sparkle.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Featherhoof.
And this is Imposter Panda, not to be confused with Carnage. You know what? Fuck it, we're just going. This is CarnagePanda.
And welcome back to Anime Talk for Spring 2019, Week 3.
Three.
Hold on, I can bend my arm enough. There we go. Wait. There we go. 3. Or I could have just done that. I don't know. I had to do it the other way. Interesting week. Not exactly I wouldn't say a week that really blew us away, though. I don't think.
This week did not have 100% hype.
No, there was no 100% hype. In fact, it was, let's see, we watched 5 anime, and I think, as far as I'm concerned, 3 of them kind of let me down.
Technically, we watched 6, but okay.
Yes, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Because we have our Elsewhere in Anime segments, but we'll get to that when we get to it. But, 3 of the 5 that we talk about here kind of let me down.
Yes.
You?
I was... You know, there's other shows that I watched this season, and they were far more interesting. Some have me cracking up just because of the unnecessary censorship. But the 5 that we're covering, I kind of felt let down. And then in another one, somebody was let out of the loony bin.
So yeah, it was an interesting mixed bag. So we're going to go ahead and talk about what we saw right here as we get right onto it. Starting this list, we have ourselves another installment of Elsewhere in Anime. Haha.
You caught me out that time.
Yes, I did. I'm catching on to your rhythms and your rhymes.
I'm gonna have to mix it up again.
Damn. So, he finished another anime recently. An older one that I haven't seen in like 16 years.
Yes, I'm continuing my long death march of watching Gundam shows, and so I rewatched Gundam Wing.
Oh, thank God. At least you watched a good one. Good to know. All right.
I mean, it did kind of lower my opinion of it because of a certain section of the show that happened.
Yes, it did have its low points. I won't pretend it was perfect. But I know so many Gundam fans out there, the true Gundam fans, who are like, ugh, Wing was the worst.
Okay, that's an opinion.
Unfortunately,
which incredibly confuses me since
it's an unfortunately wide opinion. Like, a lot of people have that opinion, and I don't know why.
So I will come at that from an interesting angle.
Okay.
So you could consider Gundam Wing to be boring because after Victory Gundam, when the Sunrise executives just took Tomino and put a straitjacket on him and tossed him in some broom closet, which, you know, is the way they fire people in Japan.
That's fact, by the way.
They didn't have the weird writing that he would bring to the table, where the characters would just say insane shit like, "That's just thinking with your head," or "It's dangerous to think like." It's.
Go ahead. No, do it. Come on. Compose yourself. You got it.
I can't even. Or you're trying to say something profound with meaning, and you just say, "It's dangerous to think like a maniac." Like, no shit! Just no shit, man!
And then, you know, after Victory Gundam, we got G Gundam, which is still, it was like visually insane.
It kind of had that thematic sense where, you know, okay, maybe I could see Tomino going in this direction, but Wing is a complete departure from his style.
They tried to, like, ground Gundam. They, like, tried to, like, make it more serious.
They're like, okay, when you're writing this script, you can't have a kid walking down the hall and just fucking headbutt the wall. You can't do that, man.
So Wing sort of takes all of the psychotic character development of previous Gundams and replaces it with political intrigue.
Yeah, so they do a lot of that, and I can see, if you're not into that sort of thing, boring. but I like that kind of stuff.
But we still get some craziness in there. I mean, Hiro Yui, for God's sakes, he's I'll kill you. He loves to walk around. You, hey you, I'll kill you.
Yeah, so is it the first? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
very
the first
episode. The final line of the first episode before the narrator kicks in is, "I'll kill you."
Yeah, so
because I love Relina. She's like, it's like him tearing up her birthday invitation crushes her soul.
No,
Why?
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It inspires her.
Yeah, but no, the way she sounds when he does it, she goes, "Why?"
Yeah,
I'll kill you.
So, speaking of Relina, which is the female lead.
Relina Peacecraft.
She doesn't start off that way.
No. Actually, she has like another name before she realizes her...
Darlian, which is how it's spelled, and then like in the English dub, they just go out into left field with that pronunciation. I don't know why, but I remember this show for how she acts in the second half of the show.
Same here.
And I completely misremembered her characterization.
You mean as a bloodthirsty activist? Terrorist?
Yeah, so I did not remember her. I remembered her as being, espousing the values of pacifism.
I remember this. That's how I remember her too.
Preaching it.
Someone here kept sending me thumbnails of
and I'm like,
the most bloodthirsty lines this woman has spouted.
I'm like, I don't remember this. Am I watching the same show I watched when I was like 15?
Yeah.
Where she's going like, yeah, I'd look better drenched in the blood of Oz.
Oh, I forgot they were called Oz. It always cracked me at the bad guys were called Oz.
Whoa, what's going on here? And other lines like, she's, at this point, Relina Peacecraft.
Yes.
And somebody does not agree with her. So she's like, kill him! Kill him now! I'm like, whoa, chill out. Your last name's Peacecraft, for crying out loud.
See, they did sort of keep some things with Gundam Wing from previous Gundams. Like, Gundam, the original Gundam, they started, all the Gundams and mobile suits sort of looked very similar to each other.
Yeah, so...
And then as they went along, as we got to, like, especially with G Gundam, like, every Gundam was completely different.
Yes.
And Wing keeps this tradition.
And another thing, in older Gundams, a lot of the people do not pilot Gundams. Like, Gundams are almost exclusively for the main character, like Amuro Ray or that kid Camille that gets kicked in the stomach while saying, violence isn't right. In G Gundam, everything's a Gundam.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gundam Wing, all the main characters have their own Gundams, and they all have unique designs.
Oh yeah, well even the bad guys' mobile suits had very unique designs. We had the they were all named after constellations: the Taurus, the Pisces. Then we had ones like the Mercurius and the V8. But everything at Beyond, I don't know where the hell that came from, but it's like everything had. Oh, Tallgeese! I remember Tallgeese.
I hated the design for Tallgeese.
Oh, I love Tallgeese.
I fucking hated it.
Especially Tallgeese Mach 3. I love Tallgeese Mach 3.
Tallgeese 2 I thought looked cool, but the first Tallgeese...
Oh, the plain white one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I will agree with that. That one was boring.
I just hated the design for it.
Like, Tallgeese 2 was awesome, but then the movies, Tallgeese 3, oh, love that motherfucker.
Yeah, and I think this is one thing that this show gets right.
Absolutely.
Is giving them all identity.
Yes.
Like, the previous Gundams, it's like, okay, they're all designed after the one in the first show.
Yeah.
And now we have all these very unique designs for each character, and I think this is one of the strong points of the show.
And what I also liked is that they, like a lot of them upgraded and like became different Gundams over time.
Except two of them.
Except two, poor Troa and
Troa and what's his name? Contra Rababa Winter.
They
which they cannot say his name without saying his full name.
Nope, it's always the full one. They those poor fools. They're like, no. Well, then again, you know, I liked
Sandrock.
Sandrock. I loved Sandrock Gundam. I thought it was cool.
It's a cool design, but he doesn't get upgraded.
Heavy Arms, though. Heavy Arms is just like that's like what a 14-year-old boy who's obsessed with guns would design.
Heavy Arms is fucking cool. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. Like,
I'll admit, I was a total Death Scythe 1 and Ultron Gundam fan. I like Death Scythe 1 and Ultron.
Speaking of Ultron, Wu Fei is kind of a dick.
Wu Fei is psychotic.
He's... I don't even understand him. Like, there's scenes where he's just like, it's time to be a misogynist. There's other scenes like a guy says, I don't want to fight you, and he's like, well, too bad. Kills him anyway.
But then again, there's so many weird things about Gundam. Like, things I had totally forgotten, where you sent me the thumbnail of Hiro Yui bending prison bars with his bare hands. This 14, 15-year-old boy with the... Dude, his arms are rails. His arms are fucking, you know, like little thin pipes. He's like...
He's like, I saw that part in Victory Gundam where the guy picked the locks on his handcuffs with a fork. I'm gonna do you one better here.
Or how about when Hiro Yui, you know, when the scientists who created the Gundams agree to surrender themselves, they're like, good, now tell the pilots to stand. They're like, no, we didn't say we would surrender the Gundams. And Hiro goes, mission accepted. And blows himself up and survives.
Well, I'm not surprised about that one because early, like in the first 4 episodes, he jumps out of like a building.
That's true.
And then they have him in the hospital and they're like, he's broken 200 bones. And then he gets up and starts walking around. They're like, okay. He's broken every bone in his body, but he's good enough to walk.
Dude, I mean, what's his face? The Char wannabe. What's his face?
Zex?
Yeah, Zex Marquis. When he like pilots the Talgies for the first time and like fucking blacks out and like breaks bones and everything. All the characters in this show are fucking crazy and non-human. Because he gets up from that.
Like any normal human would blah 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 blah.
Because he's pulling like 25 G's in the fucking Talgies. He's just like, ah!
You do have a point there. Now, I do want to talk about Relina again.
Okay, please.
Because my theory about this is that they completely rewrote her character between part 1 and part 2. Because there's a part 1 Relina and a part 2 Relina. And then, well, I should say there's like 3 parts to it. Because there's a part in the middle where she completely does not show up at all. And then she goes from homicidal maniac to peace-loving freak. It's like, what?
I think what really helps Wing out, so one of the things I love about Wing, is that every single character, major and minor, are memorable. You remember every fucking character. Even if, like, with me, 15 years later, I don't remember all their names. Because it's been 15, 16 fucking years.
Yeah,
But like, you show me, like, a character, like a thumbnail. I go, that's Gundam Wing. I know that character. Like, I know them all.
It's, another thing is that, you know, the shading is a lot better than from...
Yeah, there was as far as, like, TV anime, there was a definite jump in quality from, like, G to Wing.
Yeah. It almost looks like, what was that OVA,
Endless Waltz?
No, the one that came out before Victory.
Char's Counterattack?
I can't remember it. But
was it one of the After War ones? Was it which?
It's 0083. That's what it is. Stardust Memory.
Okay, all right.
Which looks fantastic. Great shading and everything. And then they pumped out Victory Gundam, which looks like absolute shit. But it looks like they went back to good form.
And another thing is the designs of the Gundams. Like, they were just, like, beautifully designed. I mean, we talked about their individuality, but just each Gundam's individual look is just, like, you can pick them out of any Gundam lineup.
Yeah, it'll be like, that's definitely Wing.
Yep. So, any other final thoughts for Gundam Wing? Because we've sort of just... We didn't really, like, give a plot synopsis or anything. We just sort of like gushed on it.
Well, I don't really want to give a plot synopsis because it's one of those shows of you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. That depends on whether you're a UC purist or you like the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it really was, and this is going to be probably a weird analogy. It's kind of like the Game of Thrones of Gundam, without the sexy parts. It's just a lot of like political backstabbing and taking over countries, and people switching sides back and forth, infiltrating, double crossing.
You do make a good point there, because there is a lot of nudity in Gundams before this, and there's nothing in this one. Nothing of the sort.
Nope.
I mean, thankfully, because we had fucking Victory Gundam, where the last time we saw nudity was a fucking grown woman chasing a 12-year-old around. So
yep.
Maybe it'll make a comeback in the next one, which is well, the next series, which is After War Gundam X. But
I was wondering when X was going to come up.
The next one is the OVA of 08 MST.
Oh,
which
yes,
I only have one memory of, which I never watched through it. I came over to Featherhoof's house.
Very first scene.
Came over to Featherhoof's place. He had it on, and I looked at it, and these guys were just shooting at random, going, "Oh, we can't hit it! No, we can't hit it!"
They're shooting. The way they framed it, they are firing at the sun.
Yeah.
They're firing all their artillery, all of it, at the sun. It's moving too fast! We can't hit it!
And I was just like, what?
But we'll get to that when he finishes it. OA MS Team is personally one of my favorite Gundams of all time. So I hope you enjoy it. But that was Gundam Wing. If you've never seen it, give it a shot. It is actually really, really good. Do not listen to all the weeaboo otakus out there. It is actually good. So, with that, I guess we're going to go ahead and move on to our list of the anime we watched this week.
Yes. Featherhoof.
Yes?
What happened in Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah, I kind of tuned this episode out because this was just an episode that was brought to you by Dragon Ball Z.
Or Yu Yu Hakusho. Or Naruto.
Or
Bleach.
Or One Piece.
Yep. But One Piece didn't really. Well, One Piece is guilty of it sometimes, but not very much. This was the training montage, and it really was. It was just 24 minutes of training montage. Not that it's not necessary in a story. These are necessary for the most part, especially with Demon Slayer. Actually, one of Demon Slayer's strengths, in my opinion, is that Tanjiro is not the overpowered, a chosen one to, who's going to save the day. He's weak, he's flawed, he doesn't know what he's doing.
I hope that doesn't come back to bite you in the ass when later they reveal, Tanjiro, you're the chosen one.
Well, maybe they do, but the way they're playing it, it's like with why I loved anime like Excel World. The main character is not the biggest, baddest, guy on the playground. He actually has to, learn, get better, train. He's not just instantly like, a savant at whatever the plot needs him to be. So
that's true. And I mean, this episode could have done worse.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen worse training montages.
Because, like we did mention Dragon Ball Z, where they would have these ridiculously long stretches of episodes where nothing would happen.
Yeah.
Like where Goku would charge up the Spirit Bomb and keep charging it. I
loved Z. I really did. But, I still kind of do. But it's like, it did have some major flaws where it's like, hey, we're going to spend a whole episode to charge the Spirit Bomb and throw it. And it does nothing. So that means you wasted our time.
Yeah.
This episode, I don't know. I'm not going to say this has wasted our time. But this episode was not exactly captivating. We see a lot of Tanjiro?
Yeah.
Tanjiro running through the forest 500 times.
Over the span of 2 years.
Yeah.
I think we failed to mention that this entire episode takes the length of 2 years for this kid to train himself to do one thing that he has to do.
I will never complain about Rising of the Shield Hero again with it where it does its little montages to show the passage of time. I'll never complain about it again. Because this show, it literally used a montage to show 2 years of development.
I wonder what could have happened in 2 years of story time.
That's what's funny.
I know there's stories that have just wasted time.
Yeah.
Like The Lord of the Rings and the Fellowship of the Rings. Gandalf tells Frodo, keep it secret, keep it safe.
Right.
Then he goes and fucks off for 6 months. And then comes back and it's like, is it secret? Is it safe?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Well, the thing is that that's why I'm not going to like complain too much about this episode, because at least the show was self-aware to realize, okay, yeah, this is a 2-year span, but it's a 2-year span of nothing. They didn't waste our time with like a whole season arc of just training.
Yes, well, yeah, it's true.
But it still doesn't excuse the boringness of this episode.
I mean, we still know what the show's strengths are going to be, because they're still using their tax evasion dollars to show us how they're going to handle the animation and how these fights are going to, go out. It's going to be good looking.
When Saiba, I think his name was Saibato or whatever his name was, the fox masked dude.
Scarface?
Yeah, we'll call him.
Yeah, Scarface.
He wears a fox mask that has an unnecessary scar on it for whatever reason. We'll just call him Scarface, because I think it was Saito, I think. But he shows up one day because, like, Tanjiro's trainer guy, Mr. Ora blah blah, he says, hey, this boulder here? Well, here, see that boulder? Well, here's the thing. In the year that I've taught you, I've now taught you everything. I have nothing left to teach you. So, split that boulder in half with your sword. And if you break your sword, I'll kick your ass.
His master is just a dick. He says if you damage your sword in any way, well, he doesn't say he's gonna kill him, does he?
No.
He just says, I'm gonna kick your ass. And
basically.
This is really unrealistic, because, like, anytime
you're really gonna put something unrealistic in a show about demons?
Well, it's anime, so in a realistic context.
Okay.
Anytime something touches something else, like if I touch Featherhoof's arm here, part of him rubs off, part of me rubs off, and it just goes off into the air. This sword colliding with something else.
Did Thanos snap his fingers? What? Am I falling apart?
No, it's just a consequence of you being in the physical world.
Oh, okay.
Anytime his sword touches it, little particles of it are going to come off.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be super damaging, but over time it does wear off the blade.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to resharpen the blade.
Yeah. So
another thing is, stone is harder than steel.
Yes.
So it's just a dick move. He's like, cut this fucking stone with your sword.
So he tries to cut it for 6 months to no avail.
Gets nowhere.
Until he's met with Scarface.
Scarface shows up. He's like, ha ha ha, you're not a man.
He says, if you're a man, if you were really a man, you're not a man. He says it like 5 million times. And whoops his ass handily with some of the really impressive animation.
Yeah, the animation this episode looks really good.
Like, anytime they enter fight scenes, the animation just like cranks up like 12 notches. It's beautiful.
Strengths of the show are the animation and the soundtrack.
Absolutely. So, as Tanjiro was laying there unconscious, Scarface then tells his sister, or some other little girl, I think they said that. I think she said that they're not technically siblings, but they refer to each other as such. But
yes, this is anime, so they're not technically.
Oh no more domestic girlfriend references. No.
Domestic girlfriend? That's the entirety of fucking anime, bro.
No. Fine. Whatever that genre is, no. No more references. So she actually, because like one of the things that Scarface called Tanjiro out on is like, yeah, you have not learned anything that the master taught you. Yes, you've memorized it, but you haven't learned it. So he tasked his sister with teaching him it. So 6 more months go by.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, this guy's hair is the slowest growing hair I've ever seen.
Yeah, it takes him 2 years for him to grow out a little shaggy bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And he has one more fight. Yeah, one more. Like, apparently throughout that time, Scarface has come up to him multiple times to have fights with him, and he's lost every time. But Tanjiro's lost every time.
So this whole thing is that they're teaching him a breathing technique, which is just ripped straight out of JoJo's Part 1 and 2. the Hamon, where they have to master the breathing technique so that they can harness the power of sunlight in their hands to vanquish vampires.
However, in this case, it's to give them the strength of demons while remaining human.
Yeah, okay.
It works for me.
Looks legit.
Yep. And so there's a final showdown between Saito / Scarface and Tanjiro. And it's literally a 1/ victory.
You know what? I said this during it because it was shot exactly like the scene between Kenshin and... what was Shishio's second dude?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Oh.
Starts with an S.
I know who you're talking about, but I cannot remember.
Yeah, his little kid accomplice.
Yeah, the one who's always smiling.
Yeah.
The creepy little fucker that like threw Kenshin off because he reads people's emotions.
Yeah, so it was shot exactly like that, where they're both coming towards each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, is he going to get him with Amakaku Ryu no Hirameki? And...
Man, if only he had hit him with the Amekaku Ryu no Hirameki.
Yeah.
Actually, if anyone hasn't seen the bloopers for Rurouni Kenshin, it's so much fucking fun listening to those voice actors fucking up that phrase. But
yeah, so he gains his victory over Scarface by cutting his mask open to reveal that he had another scar under the mask.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't actually see it. The only thing I took away is it turns out that after he cuts the mask, all this fog rises. Ooh!
Serious.
And the brother and sister vanish.
Yeah, I guess they were ghosts the whole time. So, the entire time, it was 6 months, right? He was just tripping balls for 6 months.
Yeah. He was tripping balls, and either that or he had snapped. Like, mentally snapped and invented people that were actually there.
He's like, you know what? I can't figure this out. There's this dude, and then there's this girl, and they're gonna teach me.
And as they vanish, the fog slowly recedes, and he had actually, instead of cutting Scarface dude, he had cut clean through the boulder. All the way through. Like, not just part of it. He had cleaved this boulder in twine.
Yeah. And the only other plot point I don't think that we touched on is that Nezuko slept for 2 years.
Yeah. Nezuko she was asleep at the beginning, and she was asleep at the end. Like, literally, like he keeps thinking
about a really bad hangover.
Like, Tanjiro's constantly going, what if she dies? What if she never wakes up and she dies and I never got to make her human again? Ah!
2 years of sleeping.
You know, that's going to be one hell of a morning in the bathroom when she finally does wake up.
If she didn't just wet the bed. Yeah, she's going to be in there for a couple minutes. You know.
She's going to be in there for
like an hour.
She's going to be in the bathroom for like a few days.
Like, yeah, I got to go to the bathroom.
You don't see her again for another couple days.
Just like fucking trigger a waterfall there. Like, man, yeah, I really had to go.
So that was literally all of the episode. That was it. That's what happened. He learned. It took us 24 minutes to realize 2 years had passed, and he spent 2 years to learn how to cut a boulder in half. Not that interesting, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, like I said, I kind of zoned out. Like, okay.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts on Demon Slayer?
Let's move on.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on. Coming in at number 4 this week is Dororo. Sadly, still at the back of the pack this season. What has happened to Dororo? The mid-season break is, like, wrecked it.
I hope it's not suffering the fate of Mega's Bride.
Let's hope not. To its credit, I will give it credit. At least it stuck to one storyline this time. It had one storyline it stuck to. It didn't have like 2 or more that it bounced between.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to fill out more of those storylines, like with the Spider-Woman, where they're trying to make us feel sympathetic to the demons. But I'm not finding it. I just don't feel it in my heart.
No, I don't know. I'm not catching that vibe personally.
Like where they're trying to give more character to them.
I mean, I'm not gonna complain about that. But more and better character is a good thing usually. But most of this episode sort of just meanders and doesn't really do anything. And then there's just one character who it's like every time he's on screen, for some reason they put the fisheye lens effect because it's just he never blinks and he got it bug-eyed and he's always staring right at the camera and it's creepy.
This dude just straight looks like a rapist.
Well, he's definitely a murderer because Hyakimaru looked at his soul and he got the red vibes coming off of it. But
yeah.
So, and again, there's just weird. It's almost like the beginning is almost just sort of. There's a lot of little plot threads in here that they try to shove in here. First it starts off with them talking about the map on. It's a map, the tattoo on Dororo's back, half of a map. Turns out Dororo's parents, the dad, all that money they stole, like him and his group stole from the samurai, he hid it somewhere.
Yes, he had hid a vast fortune, and he was about to tell the mom where it was. And the mom stops him because she's like, I would take care of Dororo. Yes.
It's like,
okay.
What? Yeah, because she's like, I wouldn't use it for the purposes you would intend for, to raise a rebellion against the samurai. I would use it selfishly all on Dororo. It's like, yeah, you're a mom. You should be doing that. But, no. So she goes, tell you what, here's what we do. You tattoo half of the map on my back, because then I'll never be able to see it, and then we'll tattoo the other half on Dororo's back.
Yeah, obviously she had never heard of mirrors.
Yes, apparently. Well, actually, I don't think I remember seeing a mirror in this show at all.
Mirrors do not exist in the world of Dororo.
Yet.
They are forbidden technology.
So, the 5th edition Bard is actually presenting them with the idea of, it's like, now that you have this idea of all this fortune, you can actually go get it, and there's actually, you have more and new options available to you after, you go around slaying all the demons, because like he postulates to Hyakimaru, so what happens after you slay all the demons and you damn your family's lands to rot and decay? What happens then? And Hyakimaru actually looked a little bothered, a little bit. He was like, oh shit, I hadn't thought of that.
He's like, there's only killing demons in life. There's nothing else. What the fuck are you talking about?
So they move on. And they come across monsters, I guess, like ghosts.
They come across 2 ghosts. One is like this really thin woman,
who keeps saying like, "Please buy one" or something to that effect.
Yeah, they're like, "Please buy one." I don't think you would want to buy anything from them.
I don't know.
And then there's like a baby that has no eyes and a asshole for a mouth.
Yeah. Who keeps saying nom nom and carry me and pee pee and keeps begging Dororo to carry it, but then proceeds to carry Dororo. And they lead them to a temple that was burned down. And they're looking at the temple, and it's like, ooh, look, oil stains. Ooh, so what? I wonder what they mean next to a burned building. What could it mean? I wonder.
Did you use all of your 200 IQ on that one?
Yes, I postulated really hard. I postulated as I tried to solve the mystery as hard as they did in Dororo. I mean, and I'm just clueless at what's, oil stains next to a burned building could possibly mean.
And then bug-eyed asshole shows up.
Who is the
feudal lord.
Lord of the land. And he
So beyond a shadow of a doubt, he's an asshole.
Well, and then it also doesn't help that it showed from Hyakimaru's point of view, and he has the murderer aura.
You just would look. You don't need a
Hyakimaru
vision. Like, this guy's just sitting there with his eyes bugged out.
Yep. And
I'm gonna do something wrong to you.
And apparently, neither Dororo nor Hyakimaru were taught of stranger danger, because when he please come back to my house, I will feed you and give you a warm bed. They go, okay.
Yeah, if you had a device that could measure stranger danger, this guy would be straight off the charts.
And this is right after the last episode when they didn't worry about stranger danger and were fed by a stranger.
Yeah,
it's like come on.
Yeah. This is a bad guy. No good guy looks like this.
So they press him for information on the burnt down temple they found. Turns out it was an orphanage. Orphanage full of kids and a nun who would work them like animals and then sell them into slavery, and then when they were bad would beat them with a bow. Not like a bow staff, like an actual bow and arrow bow. She just would take it and beat the little kids with it. And then one day, lightning struck it and burned it to the ground, and everyone died. The end.
That was a happy end.
I know, right? All the kids and that nun all died. I can go to sleep after a story like that. Duh.
And Toru's like, Hyakimaru, do you even believe that? And he's like, nah. I don't believe that for a fucking second.
Yeah.
And Toru's like, yeah, that oil was suspicious.
Oh, I also forgot to mention, when Bug Eyes showed up, the baby ghost was all like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah. He's like, that shit's scary, man.
So they stay the night. And this feudal lord's what would you call it? When you give things to people,
gifts?
No, his generosity, he's not very good at being generous because hospitality, thank you. His hospitality needs a little work because he gives them some, if you want to call it a bed to lay on, and bricks as pillows. And he gives them dirty, he gives them what looks like dirty laundry as blankets.
Yeah, he just throws them out some coats and some fucking bricks to lay their heads on.
They're bricks. They are bricks that they're laying their heads on.
Bricks, man.
So they're laying there, asleep on the bricks, and wouldn't you know it, Dororo's not very comfortable, so wakes up in the middle of the night to hear a weird slurpity sound.
He's like, yeah, I know I'm a feudal lord, but I have to go the extra mile to let you know I'm an asshole by giving you fucking bricks.
So it's a caterpillar demon?
Yeah, caterpillar demon shows up and it
grows 4 arms. He pulls a stitch and 4 arms come out, and he's like,
he's very stealthy. And Dororo's panicking, like, bro, you gotta get up. And he's not moving.
Seriously, Hyakimaru just...
So it's maybe he doesn't realize the danger. And then the caterpillar drops down and is like, I'm gonna get you. And Hyakimaru jumps out of his bed and is like, no, you're not.
And proceeds to wreck this thing. I love it because its defensive mechanism is to shoot silk out, to which is again, Hyakimaru tries to block it with his sword arms, and they all get
block it. He got 0 damage there.
I know, but the thing is,
played a lot of fighting games.
He's fallen for that trick from a spider demon, another kind of bug demon. Like, I think this is the third time where he's gotten his swords, silked up. Gooed up. I don't know what you would call that. His arms tangled.
Well, I think he did a good one this time because he was able to slash out of it.
But not before the caterpillar demon did one of the greatest runaways I've ever seen. It's just moving at a whole, 3 miles a day.
Yeah, he didn't really put a lot of effort into getting away. And
this little shuffle.
Yakimaru gets his horse free and he just stabs him again. He's like, oh, it's so terrible.
But then apparently, 2 little tiny women that are apparently only 6 inches tall started singing, and they summoned Mothra.
Yep.
Mothra comes down to save the caterpillar demon with sparkles. Yeah.
Sparkle.
Sparkle. Fuck yeah, sparkle. And even afterwards, like it creates the sparkles, it saves the little caterpillar demon, and they fly away. And Dororo Yakimaru goes, I'm covered in this stuff. What do you think this is, Yakimaru? He's like, we should wash it off, I guess. It's not doing anything, but I guess we'll go wash it off.
Yeah, just wash it off in the conveniently placed pool.
Yeah. So, the moth demon flies away to the top of the cliff, this cliff overlooking the village, and there's the feudal lord. He's standing there. And she turns into a woman.
I did good. I got you some food. And she's like, the food's too strong.
She actually calls him out as being... Was it either her or one of her sons that ate part of his body? She actually said it was either her or one of her sons.
I don't really remember.
Because she says it's too strong for the 12th to eat. So I'm assuming she means the caterpillar demon that tried to eat him.
Yeah. He got wrecked, and she's just like, man, he's too strong. I don't know about this.
And then he embraces her like a lover, like, oh, don't worry, my love. I won't let him hurt you or the children. But then it zooms in on her, and she's got the evil, toothy grin smile. And then it's over.
Yeah, so that brings me to another point, because Dororo kind of has the same smile where he has shark teeth. So yeah. I wonder if she's descended from, she's got like some shark DNA.
Well, the opening credits are to believe there will be a shark demon.
Really?
Yeah.
I must have missed that.
Yeah. It was in the opening credits. But
I can't wait. I can't wait to see this one.
But this episode, this one here, thoughts?
Meh?
Yeah, it was kind of meh. It just, I don't know. It's like, hey, let's introduce this. Okay, moving on. Hey, let's introduce these two ghosts. Okay, moving on. Hey, let's introduce this guy. Okay, moving on. Oh, hey, let's introduce the orphanage. Okay, moving on. Oh, hey, let's introduce the caterpillar and moth demon. Okay, moving on. It's like, okay, whoa. Stick with the plot. Yeah, let's have one consistent plot thread, please. But
I see what you did there.
I'm glad I saw what you saw that I did there. Yep. It's like I said, unlike the last episode of Dororo, which had like 2 or 3 different stories, this one still had one story, but it had so many different plot threads it was trying to drag into the one story.
I think I disliked the last Dororo so much that I forgot it.
It was the face demon.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then the hot springs episode.
Oh, yeah.
And then the mystery of the tattoo. Like, those are like unlike last episode, where those are 2 separate stories, in one episode.
Yeah, this feels like the weakest 2 episodes we've had so far.
Absolutely. It started to worry me about the future of the show. Ever since it came back from the mid-season break, it's just, what's happening to it?
Poor Dororo.
It was so fucking awesome. This whole last season. It was consistently in the top 3. This time it has not broken into the top 3 once this season so far.
Well, maybe we'll see next week, even though it's going to be a continuation of this.
Hey, it could be a good continuation. You don't know. I mean,
maybe the Shark Demon shows up. They're having some 3-way fight.
So that's what we thought about Dororo this week. Definitely, it's not been. Did they change the writing staff? I mean, what happened? It's not catching our attention like it used to. I don't know. Maybe it's us. Maybe we changed. I don't know.
Yeah, we changed between the 2 weeks that the break was. It changed so much.
We could have. You don't know. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next entry on our list then.
Sorry's on my part 2. The something.
The decrazifying.
Well, I have to say one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Since this is done by the same guy that did Penguin Drum.
Yeah.
Between 2011 and 2015, this guy hit some hard drugs, went completely insane.
Yeah.
And started making some of the craziest, loopiest shit ever.
Unfortunately, though, between the first episode and the second episode, I think he finally started taking his pills. Because this episode was not nearly as fun or as crazy as the first episode.
There were some good parts.
Yes, there was a few good parts.
But it has not been the crazy we've been accustomed to or gotten accustomed to.
I will agree with that. It focuses a lot on Haruka and Kazuki's relationship. Kazuki being Haruko's little brother, the one we saw at the very tail end of the last episode.
I think you got that reversed. Haruka's the little kid.
Yeah, the little brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just said that really weird.
Sorry.
It threw me off.
My apologies. So, Kazuki is helping his little brother through lies. Apparently he has this, obsessive need to keep his brother happy. He wants his brother to be happy and have everything he could possibly have, even if it means taking it or lying. So, he is pretending to be the Kappa priestess on the TV show, the Sara or whatever her name is.
Haruka really likes her.
Yes.
And so, I guess that's why he cross-dresses.
To take selfies with things, and then have conversations with his little brother, pretending to be the TV character.
But it makes him really happy, so...
Yeah. I mean, one might, he
shows him his phone, he's like, yeah, she's actually conversing with me. He's like, right here? He's like, no, that's me.
Yeah.
He's internal monologuing it.
Yeah, because he's terrified that Haruka will ever find out. He doesn't want him to
find out because he doesn't want to shatter the illusion or whatever.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be the one who says Santa Claus isn't real, you know?
It's like, you know what, I've been fucking with you the whole time. I've just been cosplaying as her, and it was me the whole time.
So, he, what happens next? I can't remember.
There's like a mishmash of things because they go from him talking to his little brother to Cujo over here.
Kuji.
I'm just gonna call him Cujo.
Kuji. He's the delinquent one. He's the delinquent one.
He's a bad man.
He's just hard cuts. We have Haruka and oh god, the names. I'm still getting Kazuki having a nice time by the river with a cat. It's like, oh, it's our cat. Oh,
yeah, Garfield. Then it hard cuts over to Kuji over here doing his tryouts for the Magical Girl Forces.
Because he's waterboarding a guy in a bathtub. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, it's just straight waterboarding this guy.
And then it jumps to him and an older guy, at a point, like a dock where a ferry's gonna come. And he's like, Kuji's all like, take me with you on the job, come on. It's like, nah, you already fucked up once. They don't trust you on the job. But don't worry, we'll get there. It's like, but I really want to be with you, big brother, come on. It's like, no, don't worry about it. He's like, I got money, I have money. He's like, I know. And that's why I'll need your help when I fuck up.
And then they kind of cut over to him into his marijuana laboratory.
Yeah, he's He's growing weed. He's growing pot.
He's
Lots of it, too.
growing so much of it, and he's bagging it up.
And then Haruka's and I got their names. Jesus Christ. Kazuki's cat just sort of goes like, "I'm going in here now."
I'm not sure how the fucking cat got in there, but he just got in there.
The door was open.
He jumps into the marijuana lab, looks at him. He's like, "Hey, Kuchi, what's up?" And then he picks up one of the bags and he's like, "Yep, I'm taking this."
And he runs off with
And
it.
he leaves. And Kuchi's like, "The fuck?"
And then proceeds this, for the most of the episode, this chase scene. Where Kuji is chasing the cat, and then Kazuki, still in cosplay, sees him threatening his cat. He's like, "No! Run, cats, run!" And is trying to stop him.
Get his cat. And then there's another cut over to what's
Enta?
Enta.
Oh, Enta and Kebi.
And he's like, "I need to check my box." And he opens up his box, and there's a gun in it. And he's like,
okay. We're talking about two different scenes. Sorry.
he's like, "This isn't my box."
This is Kuji's box.
Yeah, so this further enforces the fact that he's a delinquent because over in Japan, guns are just illegal.
Just straight up.
Yeah, you can't own one unless you're a police officer.
Speaking of police officers, because we didn't even touch on it last episode, there are some weird-ass police officers who I think are the villains of the show.
Maybe the villains.
Because it shows them, after they have a song and dance number about how they're stealing people's desires.
I don't know. This one was just so weird to me. I was like, okay, they're talking about the police, and they're like, the police chief or whatever is telling about this murder of this dude that liked to dress up as a cat.
No, he was doing a Silence of the Lambs, only instead of with women, but with cats.
And it was just really weird and out there. And then these two cops are like, "Yeah, that was us. We did that to that dude. That's why he's dead."
Yep. And they have a big song and dance number about it
just have
in the
this
middle of
fucking
it.
dance, and they're like, "Yeah, we're so proud of ourselves for what we did to this dude."
So then it cuts back to Kazuki and Kuji chasing down the cat. Well, Kazuki chasing down Kuji, and Kuji chasing down the cat. And the cat goes into this like festival or place where only couples are allowed.
Yeah, only couples can go in there. And since Kazuka's dressed up as the Kappa girl.
Well, what's funny is they both they're like, nope, never mind.
Yeah,
nope.
No, we're just gonna nope the fuck out of there. But a fucking ninja detains them.
A ninja, literally.
A ninja.
Literally a ninja.
A ninja comes out of the fucking theme park, and it's like, "You two are a couple. You're coming inside."
And then they try to keep chasing down the cat, but then they let go of each other's hands. And then there's a ninja goes, "Hey, you will be thrown out unless you're always holding hands to show your love for one another."
Yeah, so they're chasing down the cat in the theme park while holding hands. Has this gotten gay yet?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Seems to be an ongoing theme with his shows, but I'm not sure
because
we've gotten there.
They're not, but they're not into each other. They're being forced under circumstances to hold each other's hands.
You may have a point there.
Yeah. So while this is going on, this show has a lot of weird edits, weird jump cuts. It jumps to Enta talking to Kebi, and they're talking about the night before, where Kebi introduces them to the hope dishes. He opens his back up, and he's got a DVD slot in there that spits out these dishes.
Plates of or whatever he called them.
Hope.
Plates of hope.
Yes. And he's like, "Oh, so if I were to make a wish for a year's supply of cucumber something or other,"
like some cucumber rice wrap or whatever,
it would grant it. And he because he blurted that out, it went, "Oh, okay," and grants that wish. And this giant
has been granted, and then the plate shatters.
Yep.
So he can't make another wish on this plate.
Nope. And then they're just looking at their phone, and they see, they're looking at Enta's phone, and it was something completely unrelated that had to do with that park. And Kebi's ugh, those bastards. So lazy. They have all this free time to waste. Why aren't they using it to chase down zombie Kappa? And Enta's all like, well, what are you talking about? It's like, them, right there. And you look closely at the image, and there's Kuji and Kazuki on a ride behind them, looking very agitated.
They don't catch the cat.
No, they do not.
The cat falls and then floats off because one of the zombie Kappas
is stealing all the cats.
Just steal the fucking cats.
There's like hundreds of cats floating. Not like the boxes where the boxes were being like floated in the first episode. All these cats are doing these spins, these twirls through the air.
Now I did like this sequence because they were saying things like "you cat bastard" and shit like that. You dirty cat.
So Enta and Kebi catch up with Kazuki and Kuji at the Love Park, and they're like, you gotta get on, you gotta save the cats.
And Kepi shows up. I like how he shows up.
Oh yeah.
He shows up as a human, but then the coat or whatever he's wearing blows away, and it just shows him on stilts.
Yep. So Kazuki goes, I cannot let anything happen to the cat because that's the thing that connects me to my brother, and he just turns around and assumes the position with this look that says, get it over with.
Yeah, okay, I'm ready. just get it over with.
And Kepi goes in that fucked up form where he inhales him, ingests him, and they go through the whole transformation sequence again. So, and this is
just like ready for it.
This is actually the part that actually annoys me about this episode. From this point forward, everything is on fast forward. It is shot for shot remake of the Kappa fight from the last episode. The only difference is, instead of it being a demon with a box on its head, it's the exact same demon, but there's like a giant like cardboard cutout of one of those Lucky Cats in front of it.
I mean, it's kind of a different song, and this is kind of Ikuhara's.
No, it is the exact same song, only instead of the backup singers of Enta and Kuji going boxes, boxes, they go neko, neko. It is the exact same song.
This is kind of Ikuhara's thing where he'll just do the exact same thing. Like, he's really into this repetition thing.
But it was A, the exact same thing, and then B, the exact same thing on fast forward with a bunch of like jump cut edits.
Yeah, it didn't really it wasn't fun from that point on. It was just like over. I mean, he does fall out of it. Watching Penguin Drum, he had the whole thing where the possessed girl, Himari, the sister, would take them over to the other place, and then she'd walk down the stairs and admonish them, and they did it like the same way 7 episodes in a row.
Oh, is this Penguin Drum?
Yeah, Penguin Drum.
I haven't seen it yet, but okay.
And like I said, it's just this thing. So
yeah, but I'm just
gonna assume that we're gonna get a lot of this.
I hope not. I mean, when they were singing the song it still kind of makes me giggle because they're defeating bad guys by singing and doing these little dance moves and such. So it's still kind of funny, but I don't know. It just. And then of course the big mind share. When they have the big mind share, for some reason it's always Kazuki's memories they share. It shows the reason they have the cat is because the cat actually belonged to someone else, but he stole it. And then just sort of let it go. And now it's the neighborhood cat of his neighborhood. He took it away from its home, away from even its home neighborhood, and just is like, lets it wander around their neighborhood. It's now their neighborhood cat. Okay.
And then they get the silver plate.
Yes, then the introduction of the silver plate. And Kuji's all like...
Kuji's like, give me that.
Yeah, at gunpoint.
Give it to me right now. It's mine.
He whips out the gun.
Yeah, he whips out the gun and he's like, I'm gonna take that.
And then Kepi's all like, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you.
5 of those to get a wish. Like, okay.
So he drops the gun, he drops his arm, and he's just sort of like, next one's mine.
I gotta make my wish.
And he walks off. And then there's just this brief ending where it shows the cops again, and they're all like, someone's interfering with our plans. Those bastards. And that's pretty much where it ends. I don't know,
It had more original content, and I was more invested in it than the other two shows below it.
Mm-hmm.
But
the first half of it, it was, to me, this is how I felt. The first half of it was more traditional anime antics. You know, I felt like I've seen this in other anime a million times. And then the second half of it, where it was supposed to go off the rails and go crazy, was just like, okay, the exact same thing you just saw last episode, only really badly edited.
Well, I hope the next episode is a little better.
One could hope. This didn't really do anything for me. It seemed to do more for you than it did for me.
I'm contrasting it to another show that we were watching. That's gone. But I did watch the third episode of that.
Yeah.
And I still have no fucking clue what's going on. And I'm not really invested in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I like this a lot more.
I don't know if I like this yet or not. I'll be perfectly honest about Stars Online. I'm still, like, the first episode, it was just so crazy that I couldn't form an opinion, and this one was so
now, at this
blasé
point in time, do I think it's as good as Penguin Drum? No.
Okay. How about, like, contrasting it to any of his other works? Do you think it's better, worse? Like, in general, not anything specific, but I mean generally speaking.
It has yet to prove itself.
Okay. And that was pretty much it, except for one last scene, where Kazuki is sort of like, he's very tired. He's still in the cosplay outfit, right? And he's sitting on a bench in public, you know, next to the cat, and he's talking to the cat a little bit, and then he just, I'm so tired. Oh, I'm just gonna... And he just lays down on the bench and falls asleep. Then a shadow looms over him. And it's shown to be Enta, his best friend, who comes down and does not even hesitate. Just locks lips and just starts passionately kissing.
Yeah, this goes from 0 to gay immediately.
Boom! And it's just like, whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
I mean, I would say I didn't expect this, but
well, I think
this is Sarazanmai.
This is Sarazanmai, yeah.
Kind of gay to begin with.
Well, it's just, I think it just took me by surprise, because I don't... I mean, we're only 2 episodes in, but correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they ever really showed any scene before now that gave the indication that Enta was into Kazuki. Or even into the Kappa girl who he's cosplaying as.
Well, I'm not going to be surprised, because when we read the synopsis, it said they had to connect in that way.
That's true. So, that was Sarazanmai. Like I said, it just... Not as good as other week. Its first week, it lowered the insanity.
Yeah, bring back the insanity.
Yes, bring back the insanity! But then, like I said, it just took us for a loop, that last scene. It's just sort of like, okay. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and move right along to the next entry on our list. Next on the list is Fruits Basket. A continually awesome show. Still kind of almost shot for shot the same. Like I said, I don't remember it perfectly, but I do remember this. At first I didn't remember the episode. I'm like, oh, is this a new one? Is this something new? But after it started to go along, I'm like, oh, okay, nope. I remember this now. I remember this.
I do remember you having a few surprises, though.
At
least they seem like surprises that you were genuinely like, what's going on here?
Oh, I had genuinely forgotten that's... Well, either forgotten or they've changed the order of things. So I was like, oh, I know who that character is, and oh, this character showed up. Okay, I don't remember her showing up at this point. All right. But we'll get there. This episode is... Toru is learning a lot more about our other protagonists, Kyo and Yuki. She's learning about how, and this is sort of, to make the TLDR of it is, it's sort of tropey in that, the two boys who are polar opposites of each other and hate each other actually have a lot in common, and they're actually jealous of each other. Yeah, sort of shtick. Kyo is, he's jealous that he's not truly part of the family. The Soma family's never really felt part of the family because of his alignment with the cat deity. He's not as intellectually as smart as Yuki. He's not as, he feels he always feels himself an outsider. And Yuki's just better at everything. Even when, Kyo started martial arts before Yuki eventually surpassed him. He's always surpassing him. And then for Yuki's part of it, Yuki is jealous of Kyo because he's able to make friends better, whereas he feels alone and an outsider all the time.
Yeah, they're both really envious of parts of each other's personality.
Yep.
And skills, and they wish they had what the other person has.
Yeah, not really realizing that they're really pretty much the exact same things. It's like they don't realize because they have such animosity between each other, they don't actually see how similar they are. And it's Toru's like, it's gonna be my mission to try and bring these two together.
No, I did like the parts of the beginning when what's her face challenged him to a game of
it's either Uo or which was it? Her two friends are Saki. Saki's the one she challenges Kyo because Toru's all like, come play what's the game?
I don't remember what it was.
Rich Man, Poor Man.
Yeah, Rich Man, Poor Man. I'm not familiar with the game.
Me either. I've never heard of it. And Kyo's like, ugh, why would I play that? And Saki's all like, I thought being a man means never backing down from a challenge. Oh, what the fuck? And he just gets his blood all boiling. Oh, you son of a bitch! Oh, I'll play any game. I'll beat you. I'll totally wreck you.
Which he, of course, doesn't.
No, because I'm sorry. Wait. No, Uo. No, wait. Uo is the one who challenges him. Saki is the psychic girl.
Yeah.
Saki's all like, after Kyo is beating Uo, and he's like, I'm winning. Yeah, I did this move, whatever the hand was, that totally wrecks you. But then Saki's all like, secret technique, lays down these cards that totally wins the game.
It's like a complete reversal there.
There's retribution reversal or something to that effect, or revolution reversal. And so the loser has to do all the winner's chores or whatever. So he's there, cleaning the floors and everything after class. Which I gotta say, I'm glad I didn't go to this school growing up. Apparently they don't believe in hiring janitors. They force their students to clean the tables and the classroom floors and everything after school. What the fuck?
It feels like moving the desks around like that is just a great waste of time, too.
Yeah. So, after school, Toru she has to go to work. She goes to work. And,
I want to know where she goes to work in, because
it's a high-rise.
This is a huge building, and, she's going out of work, and she's the only person in the building.
Well, not the only person. After she, apparently realizes she can't walk and think at the same time.
Yeah, she can't walk and talk at the same time. She can't handle it.
She tumbles down the stairs.
Okay, show's over. Let's
No, she's fine. In which a little blonde-haired person is waiting for her at the bottom of the stairs. This little blonde-haired person is like, oh, because the person sees Toru's bag, and some of her papers come out and it says Toru Konda on it. She's like, oh, Konda! Oh, Toru Konda! Oh, and starts speaking in, was it German?
Yeah, she's like, you're Toru Honda. Almost starts speaking in German. She's like, I'll speak English. You're gonna have to stop that.
I love that so much. It's like, I gotta go. Look, it's like, oh no, it's a foreigner. I gotta go. And she grabs her bag and runs off. And
she didn't run away until the little girl kissed her, and then she's like, I'm gonna catch the gay here. I'm like, okay, yeah, and she runs out there and bumps into Yuki. Like he's just there.
Yeah, he's like, oh, did you come to walk me home? He's like, yeah, it's dangerous for girls to be walking out by themselves at night, so I thought.
Yeah, it's very dangerous out at night.
And she's like, oh, you and Kyo are just the same. So she physically takes a little bit of offense to that. But he's like, he brushes it off. Okay, whatever. Actually, kind of like funny. He's like, did you see the 4? And he's like, 4? What? He's like, never mind.
And while they're chatting,
this drunk guy comes up from behind her, like, flirts somewhere else, and elbows her.
Get out of here!
And she, because it's the nature of the show, she stumbles and falls into his arms, and poof, he's a rat again.
And then they have this cute little sequence of Yuki is a rat walking alongside.
It's an adorable scene.
On 2 feet.
Yeah, just a little rat, just
alongside somebody that he probably should not walking alongside.
Not with her track record of clumsiness, no.
I'm surprised that Toru did not step on him and in the show.
I'm kind of surprised by that too. Yeah.
You know, kind of like in Metal Gear Solid 3, when you do something that changes history, it's like game over.
Oh, yeah.
Like they could have had this little sequence where Toru just steps on him, and it's like, you killed Yuki! That's a time paradox!
Toru! 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 And of course, just as it starts, like, it's like they're having a scene where he's explaining his insecurities to her, and it's like, surprise typhoon! Just suddenly! And at that exact point, he transforms back into his human self.
Well, the typhoon hadn't hit, yeah. He just transforms back into himself, right in front of her, buck naked.
Oh, that's right.
To which she's like, no kissing!
Oh yeah, that's when the typhoon happens. Like the rain starts coming out really hard. They run home and he's like, Shigeru, do you have the Weather Channel turned on? He's like, yeah, I'm watching it right now. Like, it's a surprise typhoon. He's like,
it's a surprise typhoon.
That's what he said.
He get fucking ambushed by a typhoon.
And this really worries Yuki. He's like, oh shit! And he grabs something and runs outside, back into the typhoon. And Toru follows him. And turns out he was going to his secret place, his secret hideout, which is a garden.
Yes, Yuki has the green thumb.
Yep. Very good one, too. He was actually really growing those.
Now, if this was not Toru, I would find this scene implausible because there is no way a woman wearing a white shirt would go out into a rainstorm of this or anywhere with water in a white shirt.
No.
Never would happen.
But this is Toru. So,
and they saved the garden
by putting a tarp over it while having, I guess, what's supposed to be a heartfelt speech, but it's sort of
in the middle of a typhoon.
In the middle of a typhoon, but it's more Toru trying to make analogies that makes her sound like a crazy person.
It doesn't even stop there.
No, because next day happens. She's making rice balls for the cultural festival. And Kyo comes in, and she begins to start talking about how every person has a pickled plum on their back.
See, I didn't even care when she was talking to Yuki in the scene prior.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden this scene happens, and I'm sitting here and I'm going, what? Like, I think maybe there was a point
she's
to
trying
what she
to,
was
like,
trying to say. Like,
the reason people are envious of each other is because we all have a pickled plum on our back, and we don't know what kind of pickled plum they have because they're always wearing shirts, so we can't see our own backs or something. And somehow this then turns into a conversation about how her mother always told her to. I was thinking about the conversation she had with Yuki. Sorry, but it is a weird scene that just like we said, it's supposed to be like heartfelt. Like she's like trying to like make analogies to like really get to, you know. I think she's trying to point out to both Kyo and Yuki separately about, you know, envying other people without realizing their own, you know, they already have what they should, you know, what they need. But she creates these really bad analogies that even the characters are like
trying to say something profound, and
yeah.
This was not profound. These were the unhinged ravings of a mad woman.
Yes, they were.
It was like Tomino had busted out of his broom closet and brought back those lines of, "It's dangerous to think like a maniac." Like the manga author is like, "Okay, Tomino, you could just put this in the I'll let you have these few scenes here to write what Toru Honda is saying." I was just very confused.
And then we get one last scene where suddenly the doorbell rings as Kyo and Yuki comes down because he doesn't like leaks. He doesn't like leaks. Chives. He doesn't like chives.
Yeah, the chives.
Chives. So Yuki takes offense to this and force feeds him the rice balls with the chives in it. And while they're arguing and fighting, the doorbell rings. To which she goes to answer the door, and there's no one there. So, hello? And from behind a tree, our second new character of the episode shows up. Hi, it's a lady. She's a little girl, probably middle school age. Hi, I heard Kyo's here. Is Kyo here? And then it cuts. I know who it is, but that's because I watched the original anime. And I'm kind of excited to see how they reinvent the next episode. But before I become that guy, that man, tell me, what did you think of this episode?
I'm really enjoying this show despite the complete and utter lack of brains that Toru has.
But that's her charm. That's what's fun about her.
Like, I know a lot of anime, you'll see this in the synopsis a lot, where the main character is the best and the brightest and the most talented.
Yep.
And that is not what Toru is.
No, she's not.
She's actually a stupid character.
But lovably so.
I don't mean that she's a stupid character, I just mean that she's stupid.
I know. Like Gur from Invader Zim. She's the anime female's Gur.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, come on, you know it's true.
And then
you all know it's true, too.
And then the ending song kicks in, and my blood pressure is being lowered again. And
yes. As for me, because I've seen the original, like I said in the front of this, at first I was like, is this new? I don't remember this. But as the episode went on, it was like it clicked. Oh, no, I totally remember this. The only parts that really was like different to me was I don't remember the two new characters of this episode. I honestly don't remember the scenes where they were introduced in this episode in the original. So again, that doesn't mean it's new. It just means I forgot. The blonde-haired one. Oh, I can't wait for those. Those episodes were some of my favorite. I love that character. And same with the one who was just the one that was introduced at the end. Her, well, okay, I don't want to spoil what's great about the character for Panda here, so we'll get that when we get next week. But
I'll just go cheat and read the manga.
Don't do it. Or do it, actually. I still do want to go read the manga.
I'm too lazy. Got too much stuff on my plate, so.
So that was Fruits Basket this week. Really, it's a heart-wrenching episode. It's a really nice episode. Watching Toru and Yuki and Kyo battle with their insecurities, and Toru trying to... I think she's trying to be subtle about it, but she's trying to bridge the gap between the two of them, trying to repair their relationship. She even has this fun little shipping daydream, where she sort of ships the two of them on the sunset wave-washed cliffside. But then afterwards she goes, "Wait, no, that actually was kind of creepy."
You know what? I felt like that scene could have been helped better if they would have just taken the Predator scene, where they...
like clasp arms.
Yeah!
Dylan! You've been pushing pencils! So that was Fruits Basket. Really, really good episode. Really fantastic. But, you know what? There was something more fantastic. And we're going to talk about that right about now.
This week on The Traveling Salesman, his grilled cheese sandwich, chicken, raccoon, being pursued by an angry bear.
What?
Rising of the Shield Hero.
Oh, okay. What?
You know it's true, man. You know it's true. I want to
By
see
an
some
angry
fan
beer?
art. Yeah. You know, mine's nickname is Malty, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's Malty.
Oh. Okay. Wait, that's her nickname or her actual name?
That could be her actual name.
So the daughters' names are Melty and Malty.
Yes. Yes.
These are the worst parents ever. These are the worst parents ever! Anyway, what happened in this episode of Shield Hero?
This was the best hit. This was the best episode in the history of episodes ever.
That's an opinion.
Maybe
but...
I'm over dramatizing it, but this was definitely the best episode of the week. It got
Absolutely, yeah.
Got me right here.
It did. Actually, it kind of pissed me off at the end because it's like, huh? Oh. And it's this time. Oh, damn it. But
so we continue on right where we left off.
This episode called Raftalia. So,
Talia,
what could happen on an episode called Raftalia?
I don't know. It could be the backstory for the chicken.
No, we're apparently getting that next week. Because he made a joke after we watched the episode. As the credits were rolling, he goes, "Oh, I guess we got the Raftalia's backstory. I guess next week we'll get the chicken's backstory." And then it went, "Next week, Fidolia Queen." I was like, "God damn it!"
Nailed it.
So anyway, Raftalia. What happens in Raftalia?
So we continue off where we left off in the last episode, where she had her murder on for Lord Fatass.
Idol.
Idol, that's his name. Okay.
Yep, Idol Saba.
Yeah, and she's like, "Man, you're a dick." And he's like, "I confess."
I'll apologize. Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. It's like, how many motherfuckers did you murder? How many demi-humans did you murder who said that exact same fucking thing?
And of course, she's like, "You're gonna have to pay for your crimes, but I'm not gonna kill you."
Well, now Fumi talked her down. She was fully prepared to murder his ass.
She should have murdered his ass.
Now Fumi's like, "Hey, is this what you want? Will this give you closure?
Yeah,
You've grown as a person, Raftalia. Is this what you want?"
Okay, I hard disagree with Naofumi. I hard disagree.
I'm sorry, I'm with Naofumi on this. I'm sorry, I am.
This guy is irredeemable.
Well, then throw his ass in jail. But Idol sort of takes it out of all their hands.
Okay, so how are they going to punish Idol? Shield Hero is not liked in this kingdom.
Granted.
And it seems like Idol was able to do all of the stuff that he did right under the Queen's nose.
Granted.
He got away with it. This guy was not going to get punished if they just let him go.
I don't know. I don't know. But it didn't matter anyway because, what happened?
So he draws a sword on Raftalia. It's like, "I didn't mean to apologize to you. I'm going to get you now. I'm going to kill you."
And he disarms her.
Yeah, he disarms her. And then things kind of got hazy at this point.
No, he jumps up, grabs her arm that he whipped, which stings like, ew. And that he's able to knock her sword out of his hand. And before he can go in for the killing blow, she whips out her mana sword, which
I'm not sure it does anything.
It didn't. The only thing, it stunned him. I guess he was just sort of stunned by the act. Like, did I just get pierced by a blade?
She completely ran him through with the mana sword, which, if it was a real sword, she would have killed this guy. But I'm not sure what this sword is supposed to do.
And then he falls backwards. And
into the window.
Well, what I find funny is he falls backwards and doesn't really fall through the window. He's just so fat that when he hit the window, it cracked and exploded from his fat, and he falls out.
It plummets to his death,
quote unquote. Remember, no body, no death.
And he is so fat that when he hits the ground, the entire town shakes.
And they heard it, and they went, "Idol-sama's dead!"
Yeah, they're like, it's unmistakable, he's dead!
And Shield Hero wins! Yay! They won! So, and then it cuts over to the door like, it shows the other guy from the last episode whose name we can't even pronounce, the Lord that got captured. He's like, oh, he comes in the door. Oh, thanks for saving me. It's like,
okay.
When did that happen? Okay.
Good job, Shield Hero.
Good job. So Raftalia's all like, I need to go to the dungeon. His little demi-human torture chamber. And we get this long, like, flashback of Raftalia's childhood. Post her parents' death.
And her little friends.
Yeah, Rifana, and Keel.
Yeah.
And we got Rifana the lion. I think she was a lion. That looked like a lion tail to me. And Keel the wolf. And they're like, she's going on about how it's like my mother and father always told me no matter how hard it gets, always smile. Bring smile and laughter to everybody. Even through the hard times. So, literally, a whole town after the wave had happened, and they're all like, "Oh shit, our town's destroyed. What do we do? Oh, we've all lost hope." It took Raftalia, that child, to go, "Fuckers, we're gonna rebuild this town, and it's gonna be just as awesome as it was. Yeah!"
And they're like, "Yeah!"
Well, no, at first they were all like, "Oh, I don't know," and then Rifana and Keel are all like, "Yeah, we're gonna do it. We have the power together." And then they're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah," and then so they proceed to rebuild it. But
and then some soldiers show up and they're like, "Yeah, they've come to help us from the capital."
Oops.
Now, I'm unclear on this part.
These were Idol Sama's men.
Idol's men?
Yes, they were.
Or they worked for the queen?
No, they were Idol Sama's men. They said in the last episode, Raftalia said it was, to Melty, said it was Idol Sama's men who ransacked and kidnapped them.
Yeah, so Idol Sama's men show up and put a lot of people to the sword and capture the kids.
Oh no, they capture the adults too.
They capture some other people because I guess
they're all demi-humans.
They're going to sell them on the black market.
Well,
or
no.
do what Idol Sama does.
No, he didn't sell them on the black market. He brought them back to his place because he gets off on torturing demi-humans.
This is just another argument that I'm going to make that this guy is an irredeemable jackass that
Granted, I know.
Raftalia should have ran him through.
Anyway.
It's the only justice this guy would have seen.
I don't know. So it shows how... I mean, the reason I know he gets off on it is because it shows him trying to whip Raftalia as a child. She's chained up and everything. And she's not reacting to the whippage. He's like, "You're boring! You're boring! Cry! Scream! Ugh!" He's whipping her. But then it shows him whipping Rifana. And he's just, "Yeah! Yeah! I'm whipping you! It feels so good!"
He is definitely a sadist.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is that Raftalia is so boring to him, he sells her to a slave trader.
Yeah, he's like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
After a bunch of just gut-wrenching, hard-to-watch scenes of these two children getting slowly more and more ill and emaciated throughout their imprisonment.
This is true.
And like, Rafana is all like, "I just want to see our town's flag again. I just want to go home." And then Raftalia tries to help her. She makes a little flag. It's just a little flag made out of like straw and like scraps of cloth that they had sitting around. And it was just so hard. It was hard to watch.
Yeah, I really feel bad for Raftalia because she had a tough childhood.
Yeah?
Very tough childhood. But they go down in the dungeons.
Oh god, yeah, she starts having like little PTSD and... Ugh.
And then they just start finding people down there, one after the other.
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh, there's somebody in this cage, and there's somebody over here, and..."
And this is the part I was saying when we were starting. It's like, they're like teasing you a little bit. Like, "Oh, is she gonna find Rafana? Is it gonna be Rafana?" Oh, no, it's not Rafana. Oh, no, is that Rafana? No, damn it, it's still not Rafana. And then she finds Keel, and it's like, at first Keel's like, "Who are you?"
It's like, "I don't know who the fuck you are." She's like, "It's me, Raftalia. Don't you remember me?"
He's like, "There's no way you're Raftalia. It's not true. It's not true." And she like, she like almost like a like an uber nerd just spouting off facts about their favorite thing.
Like, I'm just gonna tell you about the stuff that I know about you.
And she's like, it is you! You came back with us! He's like, and I brought the shield hero, see? See, I brought the shield hero. And he's like, he's real? Oh my god! Shield hero! And it's like, oh, he's like, where's Rafana? Where is she? And oh no, he goes, Rafana would have been so happy to see this. And she catches the past tense on that. Like, well, what do you mean by that? Where is Rafana? He's like, he like sort of like looks over that away, and she like runs over, and you don't really see it at first. You see just her sitting there looking terrified and saddened, and it shows the rest of the group as they're physically hurt by listening to Raftalia's cries of pain and sadness. It is goddamn.
They don't show it to you. They're actually focusing on Shield Bro and the rest of them, but you just hear Raftalia scream
and crying and just sobbing.
The scream tells you everything you need to know.
But then they go to show us. He got off, and apparently he got all he needed out of Rafana. He got bored of her, and then he burned her.
Yeah, all that's left of her is her bones.
Bones and a few scraps of cloth. And the little flag. That's how we know it was Rafana's corpse. She still was holding the flag. Goddamn, this episode. And she starts to lose it a little bit. She starts to, doubt herself. I should have been here sooner. I couldn't save anyone. I'm awful. I shouldn't even be bothered to be by her side. By your side, the shield hero. I'm not worthy of it. And he has to, he has to. We're reversing roles now, where she used to have to bring his confidence back up. He grabs her by the shoulders, and he's like,
What are you talking about?
Like, look at Keel over there. Look at these other people. You saved them. They're still alive. I'm still alive because of you. If it wasn't for you, I would have just left this world and said fuck it. It was because of you that that I continued this journey. That these people are still alive. And she has this little, like, imagined conversation with Rafana, and she. I like the one flashback. Rafana talks about how she wants to marry the shield hero.
Yeah, she's like, you're jealous now, aren't you?
Yep. And then the fake Rafana in her head's like, shut up, no, I'm not.
Yeah, it was a really touching moment.
It was.
But then they leave the dungeon.
She gathers up her remains in a nice little silk cloth.
Yeah,
it's like, oh.
Shield Bro's like, we got to put all these people to rest because they're not going to rest down here.
Yep. And like, oh, okay. And they go out, and they're still, the demi-human mob is still out there trying to get their lord back.
Chill them out.
And like, dude, you need to go chill out your people before they do some damage, okay? He's like, okay, yeah, I'll go do that.
And then the entire town shakes, and I was like, this dude's not dead?
I was like, no, dude, he was already dead. Don't worry about it.
He got fucking back up, and it just took one step, and the entire town... Dude!
Idol Sama is still alive. He fell backwards through a window 3 stories. He's still alive.
And he weighs enough to shake the entire town.
Apparently his fat cushioned the fall. Apparently.
He was able to survive this fall because of it.
Well, his manor is built around a monument that the last heroes built. That was a thing that binded a creature they couldn't kill.
Yeah, there's a sealed badass here.
And what is the badass? He releases it, and it rises from the ground. It's a motherfucking T-Rex!
Yeah, we got a T-Rex here. And he's all like, overjoyed. He's like, ah ha 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 ha, and the T-Rex steps on him.
Yeah, he's giving the bad guy monologues like, with this power, I can rule all of Melromark. I'll wipe all those nasty demi-humans off the face of the planet, and I'll even destroy the shield hero, the devil of the shield. I will be like a god.
Rip Idol.
Don't press F. Don't press F for Idol. Press like Q. No, what's the button that's usually the melee button? V. Hit V. V's usually the melee button on a keyboard. These are the games I play.
Well, the T-Rex finally brought him to justice.
For great justice, step on every zig.
It's one way to look at it.
Well, then the 3-story fall didn't kill him. Do you really think the weight of a giant T-Rex is gonna... I mean, come on. Realistically speaking, this guy's alive. Come on.
You bring up an interesting point. He could still be alive. He can still fucking be alive.
He's gonna get up like Judge Doom at the end of Roger Rabbit.
If this happens in the next episode,
I hope it does.
Like, you fell out the window, you got crushed by a T-Rex, no big deal.
Well, then again, this game is very, like, video game logic. For whatever this world has video game logic, he probably has some extra lives. Or he had re-rays on.
These are all possibilities.
Yep. So that was where the episode ends here. That was the end of the episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good episode. Fantastic episode. Jesus. I've said it before, it's one of my favorite things about this show. It knows how to make you feel what the people in the show are feeling. You don't really feel like a passive watcher to Rising of the Shield Hero. You actually feel like you're part of what's going on. Because it really knows how to convey emotion. So many things don't know how to do it right. This show definitely knows how to do it.
The only other thing I want to say about this is that I hope that Melty has a good conversation with her mom.
Yeah?
Because,
yeah,
Idol wouldn't have been doing any of this stuff if it was not for her mom allowing it.
Did her mom allow it, though? Her mom seems to be imprisoned.
We don't know how long she has been imprisoned in Musketville.
I mean, we don't. True. We don't know that. But all of this seems to be, again, I'm just postulating. I've never read the light novel or the manga. It sounds like Mine is blackmailing her father to do all these bad things. That's what it sounds like is happening.
But when the queen was there...
Yeah, it's like... It sounds... I mean, what's going on? Why is the queen in prison? If she's supposed to be the highest ruler of the land in the matriarchy, how is she imprisoned with 1 million guards around her, unable to leave wherever she is in Musketville?
And we know that they're supposed to be heading to talk with her or whatever. Yeah. And I really hope that Melty does have a good heart-to-heart with her. Yeah. Like, are we the good guys, yo?
Yeah, because she said,
because I just saw this really fucked up shit over here.
Because, like, when in the last episode, when Raphtalia says what happened to her, where that dude, Idol-sama's men came and just kidnapped us all. Mm-hmm. She's like, I had no idea that no-remark soldiers were out doing that. I will have a word with, I think she said with her father about it. I'm pretty sure. But,
well, I hope that she has it with her mother first, because I think her father's kind of a lost cause right now.
He is a... I question whether he's even a player in any of this.
And speaking of that, what's Chancellor Douchebag up to?
Good question. We have not seen him since like the second or third episode. But no, the episode where he unlocks the cursed shield for the first time. The tournament, the duel between him and Spear Hero. I think that was the last time we saw him.
Obviously, he's somewhere up to no good.
Probably.
You don't get to have that kind of shit eating your head.
So that was Rising of the Shield Hero this week. Fantastic episode, best of the week by a wide margin, to be perfectly honest. And with that, we're going to go ahead and that was our list. And that wraps up week 3 of Anime Talk Spring 2019. Not its best week. It's some shows' best week, but as a week, it's not exactly the best week of the season.
It's not weak, but it's not the 5th week. So
yeah,
we'll see.
That was 2 seasons ago.
Yeah,
Come
that was
on,
like 2 or 3 seasons ago, but
it was
just a fucking bad week.
It was, but yeah, it's just Shield Hero I think Shield Hero totally made up for it. Still enjoying Fruits Basket. For me, the other 3 didn't live up. They didn't live up. I don't know. Maybe I think you seem to enjoy Sarazanmai more than I did this week.
It wasn't its strongest outing, but I did enjoy it.
Okay,
There's parts of it I enjoyed, unlike with Tororo and Demon Slayer, where I was just kind of tuning them out.
I have a feeling Demon Slayer is going to pick up I think like they took the training montage part. We're done. They wrapped up in one episode, and it's time to move on.
I sure hope so.
Yes. Dororo, on the other hand, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. Move on. Let's do something. Further the plot. Let's go.
Yeah, like right now they're in the Titanic and they're just seeing the iceberg and they're like, steer right for it.
They're pulling a wharf. Revving speed.
Revving speed.
Today is a good day to die. Sarazanmai, makers of Sarazanmai, if you're listening, I seriously doubt they're listening, but if you're listening, go back to the crazy. Please, go back to the insanity. That was the fun part. Don't make a generic anime with a stilted, badly edited crazy. Come on. But Fruits Basket, Rising the Shield Hero, keep doing what you're doing. Loving it. But that's the end of this week, guys. If you enjoyed it, please let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, share it, or you can click on the annotations for the videos we've done. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you all next time.